So I asked the jury to pay close attention in the beginning to all the evidence. And with that being said, I think it's pretty clear that the state has edited, manipulated the whole ordeal. It's a lot of things that I don't know, that I was restricted of speaking of.
Objection, Your Honor. This is improper. The jury is not to consider things. They are specifically instructed that they may not consider objections on what is not in front of them. They can only consider the evidence in front of them.
Your objection is
That
sustained.
video wasn't in front of nobody that they showed.
Your objection is sustained. You may make your argument
Okay.
We would move to strike that and admonish the jury, please.
that your statement will be stricken from the record and the jury is instructed not to consider it.
You heard testimony from these officers. All different from the jump. No information. How do they say no information? They are separated. What evidence was presented that said no information? This CAD reports, those ones are presented. The state could have found, not could have found. They didn't want to use no facts. None. Because they protect them. This is sad to say, the government. You heard on the camera that they said injured person. And you heard testimony from Thomas Mangan himself. Told you that they made a high-risk felony stop. That is a stop where somebody has committed a forcible felony. I was not subject to such stop. What did I do? I never harmed or tried to harm anybody. I complied. You don't see that part. I had no choice but to run for my life. That's all I intended to do.
That is sustained. You may give argument as to what you believe the evidence shows. But just because you're representing yourself, you might be lying.
Okay.
So you have to use the defendant to kill.
If everything is legit on the state side, don't you think that taking time to example on the light camera, there was an officers do it. If this really attacking, why take anything out? Let's get everything out there. Listen to surround and tech. To the team specialists. They go to the accident. He's here. What do you think those detectives did? They protected that. That's what they gonna do. It doesn't matter. But you might sit them down, talk to them. Man, you messed up, man. This was a bad one. It's corruption. It's sad to see what the word has come to in this day. Like, no accountability, none. Where's the bowler rap at? They producing a flash or something. Where's the bowler rap at? The bowler rap said that it had mud all the way throughout it. In the picture, it had no mud on it. None. They accused me of shooting the radio. The evidence showed radio wasn't shot. Or maybe it was. By who? That's probably why it was destroyed. because of who actually shot it. The person that accuses the defendant of shooting it. Never in any video do you see the defendant fire any weapon. Not one time. You know what's so surprising? We didn't see Daniel Majors fire a weapon either. His body camera is right here with a light on it. We didn't see that. We heard music I told y'all to listen to in the vehicle. We heard that in like one body camera. And then we just seen body camera right now and we didn't hear it. What is it to hide? Why not take the weapon I supposedly used to supposedly attempt to murder this man for no apparent reason? Why not take that? Why not send that to the feds? Send that to the ballistics. I'm pretty sure if you have two handguns involved in a shooting, regardless if you have bullet fragments, which bullet fragments did exist, you can do the comparison. Not the comparison, you can do the actual findings and determinations. They don't want you to see that. They want to keep you from the facts. And it's just sad what happened to Thomas. It is. Because his officers, he wanted to be an IMPD officer probably to really help and really approach people's vehicle in the right way and not overstep his boundaries. But he didn't have that choice because he had a partner that was over aggressive. And when the defendant was running, somebody yelled racial slurs. How hateful. Thomas Mangan didn't deserve that. He deserved to enter the force and be trained properly on how to execute his duties. I didn't deserve it. He's chasing me, said he didn't shoot me, but you are saying, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you. But I didn't do it, he did it. Come on now. Let's be serious. And I'm shot in the chest. Wonder how they got my medical records to say that. Quite a pull, huh? Who has pull like that? Everybody know the saying, you can't mess with the police. Normally, I ain't with no telling, but I can tell y'all 100% that man right there shot his partner. He shot me. He tried to kill me. As I put my hands in the air. And lied. Didn't do reports. None of that. Did he even describe the shooting? When the defendant asked him to describe which way the defendant had the gun, this. Do you remember how he described me reaching for a weapon? He said like this. The defendant was holding his pants. That's it. said, how dare Indiana try to prosecute me? Not try. It's been happening. The evidence is not evidence. How the law works, it's not about the truth. It's not about the facts. It's not about the. It's about presentation. It's about rules. That can go, that can go, but that can't go. I'm a fact person. And I'm not saying all officers are bad. But these 6 white men that approached me was not there to protect me. They didn't witness a crime. They didn't investigate a crime. IMPD can't even arrest you for a misdemeanor that's not committed in your presence. Some officers say, defendant turned his back, just ran. Some say, defendant faced them. One officer isn't even here. Why do you think that is? That day, I'm sure he determined, I ain't down with the blue. That ain't how he was coming. Because he knew this is not right. His body camera was on the grass. The note said him and his partner was the witnessing officers. If I had the opportunity, if the defendant had the opportunity to present the things that actually existed.
Your Honor, at this point, he is commenting on things that were not in front of the jury. This is proper time for evidence of the evidence that was presented. He is presumed to be an attorney. He doesn't know the rules of how to get things in. He's held to that same standard.
Your objection is sustained. You may not testify or comment on things that are not in evidence. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. I understand something gotta change. Ability. No. They told me that. They told me that. You seen the bright flashlight. That meant that. Y'all seen that flashlight. I was running. You seen it too. I've never seen that bright flashlight too. Same bright flashlight that coming back to me. It's like a second you said. I want. Respect one another. Actually protect and serve. That's what we need in the community. A regular officer that was trying to protect and serve would have just simply pulled behind the defendant's parked vehicle and said, hey sir, or just walk to the door with a fast light. Hey sir, are you okay? Heard you was injured. He didn't give me that opportunity. The defendant stepped out the vehicle. Immediately felt death. Knew, just never felt the way. Defendant never felt like that before.
Your Honor, this is testifying again. He had the opportunity and chose not to.
Your objection is sustained. You may talk about evidence that is in evidence. You
Evidence.
may characterize the evidence that is in evidence.
Evidence. All this about is evidence. The state has clearly not proven the burden. To have the audacity to say scared man running for his life attempted to kill a law enforcement officer. I think it's safe to say I shouldn't be the one on trial. So it's like the righteous get stepped on, but the dirty and unfair, it's like they get patted on the back. Officers gave very different accounts. If the jury seen what the defendant seen.
Objection, Your Honor. Same one. Remove the strike and ask the jury not to consider it.
The court will sustain the objection. You got on the stand and you chose not to testify as to what happened. You may not testify as to what happened now. You may argue what is in evidence. So the court will strike his statement and the jury is to disregard.
Okay. Evidence. DNA. Corruption. Lies. Tampering. You seen the body camera. You seen the fence. You seen the pictures. If we take pictures right here from different angles and we see that tissue sticking out that box, and then we look at those photos and some of those photos, there's no tissue sticking out of the box, that fence That pole was away from that fence to accommodate the body worn camera that was on the ground. Because that body worn camera shows the true events. They didn't want you to see it. So they act like he got put on the ground. He did get put on the ground. He did not fall. The state could have easily produced facts, chain of custodies, dating time stamps, everything. But all they did is plant evidence, just like they did my medical records, the defendant's medical records. If the hospital that operated on a person can give a misrepresentation of his gunshot wounds, then what makes you think this evidence will not be a misrepresentation? Defendant got shot. Megan got shot. Blood was everywhere. That's evidence. That's all they needed. Put a little blood on this, blood on that. Turn it in. I know for a fact that's what happened. DNA was planted, just like false medical records. Why would Officer Majors tell this rookie, if he believes somebody is really reaching for a weapon, you tell your rookie to get him, Tommy? Hold on. You think this man is reaching for a weapon and he's dangerous. Why would you tell your partner to get him? Does that make sense? And Tommy said he didn't have a weapon out. So you truly believe the defendant is reaching, but you order your partner to get him? Even the officer said they heard pops, thought it was bowler wrap. There's no bowler wrap here. Lies. Cover up. Again, from the beginning to the end, none of these officers testified that the call was an injured person. But we heard on Thomas Mangan and Daniel Majors inside the vehicle, we heard it say, injured black male involved in accident. Are they trustworthy? Think about it. Are they?
You have 10 minutes left.
Why would these officers get on the stand under oath and promise to tell the truth and have inconsistent statements? For our constitutional rights state that a person got the right to be in his person, place, or things. Just think about going about policies and procedures was not followed. They wasn't at all. They were training officers how to violate constitutional rights instead of upholding them. But as you see, officers still on the department, just enabling, labeling, what you allow is what will continue. So, if you find me guilty, you're just enabling.
Objection, Judge. You can't ask the jury to do anything other than to follow the facts and the law and not to ask him to make a statement to the community that is against the rules.
That's sustained.
It will be like backup weapon. How we know that weapon wasn't fired? The problem is IMPD can investigate their own crimes. They don't make sense. You need federal to get involved. Somebody upper. That's not fair. You shouldn't be able to grade your own test. You shouldn't. That need to change. Unless the madness will continue. I asked the jury be fair. You're smart. Pay attention. Attempted murder. That's what I'm charged with.
The defendant.
The defendant. Intentionally. With Pacific. They are saying that the defendant specifically intended. Where's Thomas Mangan medical records? Did we view those? Would think we would have.
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Why is video so blacked out? Why all the inconsistencies? Guilt is guilt. And if the defendant was guilty, none of this evidence would have holes in it. It all would line up, it all would be accurate, and it'll leave you without a doubt. It's well over enough doubt in this matter, if I must say myself. Thank you for giving me your time today, and I just ask that we all be a better representation of humanity, of society. Holding people accountable. I shouldn't be held accountable. What did I do? Guilty for what? Running for my life? How dare the city of Indiana lie on me, say I'm shot in the chest, then prosecute me? You accuse me of attempting murder? What is this world coming to? Disgrace. It's not why God brought us here. We're supposed to come together, help each other, share with one another. Not violate people and point the finger. That's not right. They wanted me to die. They wanted me to die. Why? Why?
Okay, your time is up.